There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Following our people who willing to serve. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us here and the parents from there. The work with my life without fear.
Allez,
Master.
Clebali suo me konyo ake Sktv benyo. Sema cheni tina ke asema jamu. Enji sano muni emu aye yo. Enji lofa muni emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandfather.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Somalia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Somalia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Cote d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Nigeria ya tumale, Sktv, ena Nigeria, tosi wako maya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the local and grandfather.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Following our people who willing to serve. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from Riverside to Raji to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat to San to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Maggie B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Well. Look, this life is interesting. So again, folks, every time we start a day, some of you can be thinking, but maybe how come when we're talking about some serious issues, you always like to start with laughter or so forth. Sorry to, anyway, good evening. Yeah, sorry. Oh, yes, there was no service, no sound. For those of you who following us through the internet, please, sorry. Yeah, we sincerely apologize for that. It can be easier to. But anyway, please like, comment, and share. Sometime when you are between the six, anything that comes your way. Look, for example, they have some kind of saying, they say, when you are drowning, and then you be thinking about any kind of leaf that comes your way, you just want to grab the leaf. So the high look. But again, let me see whether I'm not sending it into Monk. Yeah, let me see, because I've been up and down and so forth. Let me check my internet and see. But good evening, folks. Good evening indeed. This is the SKTV show. Please like, comment, and share. Invite other people to also follow, because why? This platform, it is the platform that you can use to talk about all the things that have been in your heart, that you want to tell your government, you want to tell the civil society organizations, you want to tell the media institutions. We'll give you all of the opportunity for you to talk to our management. Let me say call to the management headed by our own CEO, Laike Berete, and the head of radio and programs, Oni Osumba Roberts, for the good opportunity. Easy, but it's a making to all. Thanks to Seku Kane. I don't know. I gotta ask Seku. I think this month or next month will be making us how many years? We gotta celebrate something with people. Some of you that can remember that started with SKTV, you tell us how many years now we been on the air with, so that we can celebrate. Because we have to celebrate. Steve Umpa, you will not tell me, so me I know. That the man just feel that no man Steve or Steve. The man just want to support my deaconship. And that deaconship I'm fighting for all throughout my life, fighting hard to be deacon, so that I can be able to sit on the deacon bowl and see what. Oh, no. I think I got some photos from the United Methodist people. Yeah, I saw some people. The people were like, in fact, turning some of their signpost. See that signpost? Any kind of way you call it. But the United Methodist, some churches that are associated with the United Methodist organization or the UMC. Some of them start turning over their church signboard and say, "Hold your property, we will take our building." No, their country injustice. Please, don't deal about me. Anybody you want to take me to say, maybe you're not Liberian. Yeah, I'll start with Steve again. Let me tell you, Sarah Tule, look, I get issue with Steve. Let me tell you. Steve continue to molly my cat whenever I try hard to be deacon. You don't even know what this thing can do to me. He start with Steve. Mama, I'll start with Steve. Mark, the link already to you. Please find out to join us. So good evening. Yes, Edward Brushes. Good evening to you and the Ghanaian man. I guess you're probably man, you move through Asidu. They like that you say. I get I'm not crying again more now. Is you move through Asidu Meza. Can you imagine? What? So then we say we don't know good thing. Some people, no wonder. No more you gotta come out so that you can tell us about that Nigerian man. Because we don't know good thing. And this country is interesting. First, look, good evening. Share the show. Invite people. Let them come. We got so many things today to tell you. So many things. And we're fighting hard also to bring on the whistleblower. Some of the people that talk about the corruption, that leaking some of the secrets part of. But not today. Maybe hopefully we are one for Seku, Steve, Monk. And you know when they people around now, then you bring the kind of more or guests, it can be so juicy. So hopefully these people that talk about the air triple RC 1.5. Can you imagine? We're looking for money. Few of people can just go away with 1.5 million. But we get money in the country, then how can you're begging people here and there? So yeah, man, I will start the show. Good evening. Good day. Let me recognize a few of you. Elizabeth Bowen. Good evening, Mama. Thank you so much. Lapu Sano, good evening. Sky S. Kamara, let me say good evening to you. Jackson Jean, good evening. Say no, son. Yeah, I think we'll work on that. Thank you. You know, sometimes it's not easy. Yeah, especially when you some people protesting. What kind of word? The president will not go to you campus. So all these news then will get in your head now. It can be easy. Yeah, so you're sorry. Sometimes, yeah, more you gotta come because the news is just so juicy. Look, this country is not easy, monk. Me, when I come back on this earth, I want to be called a Liberian. Somebody say I should play the police. Don't want me to play the police paper push. Sorry, the police people pushing paper. Look, you know you say, yeah. Now I know that the stroke, the thing they pick and say for true and believe. Look, I used, you know, when you watch some of the old days, what they were having is slavery, you know. These slavery days, they say the strong will overcome the weak. And now I know that indeed the strong of the country is just the country. Yeah, comrade Yinka. Today is Wednesday, today and ladies' night. So you probably remember all our beautiful women, all of them, yes, indeed. Yes, all of our beautiful women in here, remember all of them. Chula born, yeah, in fact, go evening in the police. Yes, yes, what we hear to my dear. All of the evil. We don't even know which one we're going to talk about. United Methodist Church, people telling church people take over. And I mean, which news? Well, we don't want when the news just plenty enough for them. Look, then the speaker Wahala still continue. Yeah. So the news, soup from the UL, they say the president will not enter. So let me see our men. Sorry, but it's just so interesting. It is indeed embarrassing, and that's the kind of country that we live in. So let me see. Oh, correct. See there, all of you, just see you though. This person that do this, I guess see what issue with him. Correct. Great. So you see, you see some. You see some. That is not good. More make it a comment. But anyway, before more come, let me say a wonderful evening. Thanks to all of you for sharing, especially to those of you who sharing. Please continue to share the show. Share. If you are not following the Sktv page, please, I'm appealing to all of you who are listening to me via the radio to follow Sktv-Lib. Most definitely, you're going to see the page and just click follow. That's the only way. And some of you, please, please share the show so that other people too can follow you, follow the page, follow the show so that they can be aware of what we are saying here today. So many things. Look, the information generators. We don't even know which one to read. The corruption cases on the other side. The room was that more common. Room 1026. Yeah. So room 1026. Maybe Monk is in room 1026. And I feel like in room 1026. Just sign up. Indeed, you are great. Although you are in room 1026, that means you are great. But we moved, my people. That's the country. Okay, my brother Sarah is right here. Me, I know that Sarah is in room 1026. Sarah, good evening, my brother, and welcome.
What's up, Mabel? And what's up to the listening audience? Another edition, another day on Sktv. I'm just setting up. I got your memo a little bit late, but I'm okay. I'm here. I'm done sharing the show, so I'm here.
Wonderful. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd of October, and indeed is as usual. I don't even know how did name job come up with ladies' night. You want to tell a little bit about that? How come most of the thing been given to women?
Which ladies' night?
Every Wednesday that I grew up for me that I can be here.
Oh, you mean? Oh man, I know. It's been a long time since I even visited a club. I don't know anything about clubs, so I don't know about ladies' night. I thought ladies' night was Thursday. I didn't know it to be Wednesday night. Anyway. I'm not a club guy. Once in a while, I used to chime in with a club, but it's been a long time since I left, so I can't tell you exactly if I got any
Unless
idea.
Steve now can tell me about this, you probably not social man, not true.
Yeah.
Unless Steve know about Wednesday.
I'm a monk. I chant and
So you won't know about the ladies' night. You just come and tell us what the meaning of this. How can everyone is they say that ladies' night. So what are some of these things that the ladies will be giving to us? And, some the male or the men and so forth. I don't know. But again, anyway, my brother say, he have no knowledge because he's not a social person. Yes. But more sometimes too, my brother, don't be too serious. Because
no, I'm not too serious. Just that I'm staying out where I need to be. I mean, in terms of transitioning, I cut a lot of activity, whether it's going out, whether it's going to play soccer. I used to be social. I used to be more sociable a few years ago until things really turned. I'm still transitioning. That's why you see me. I barely come on every camera. Like I'm not where I need to be. And sometimes you don't tell people certain things and you handle business in the back, and then when you okay, and then you can surface. So we just helping to carry the show.
And that's the thing, Mom, because people only want to see your basa. When you by the time you show your basa, it's Mom that you to do.
No, it's not only about showing basa. It's just that when you get some personal things to take care of, you shy away from the public and do what you need to do, especially when you had things going before, and all of a sudden things get flipped for the worse because certain reason. That's how people can end up saying words or saying things to people because you got certain issue going on, but you choose to be in the public and you want to pretend like everything is okay, and behind the scene you got one or two things you must take care of. It mean that you are antisocial. It just means that you want to use your time wisely in taking care of business, and then when you are up and running, then you can resurface in the public and be more sociable and hang out with people and go to all the parties and all the barbecue. But until then, take care of business first. There will always be time for fun, so it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Great, I like that. And in fact, that's one of the best things to do because when these kind of more issues come about, especially in your life, you just have to position yourself and make sure that everything is settled, and correct or ready to move, at least before you can come to the public land. But thank you so much, Monk, for always. I'm very proud of
you. Folks, share, share, comment.
Yeah, thank you. Share the show, Monk. So, Monk, go ahead and socially, maybe you want to talk about some we stay into social interactions. I don't know what are some of the social news that you want to talk about.
I don't know. I guess saw some African American lady talking about dating our former president. I think it was the only social issue. She said she dated a high-profile African, and he was president a few years ago. I think she said 6 or 8, if I'm not mistaken. And then that's it. I think it was the only thing that caught my attention. It never caught my attention, but in the social circle, and then I saw that story about police pushing their patrol car. Like, this country, it's just a waste of time and resources. And we're hearing news from the LU campus about the president trying to usher in, to preside, not presiding per se, but some ceremony about offering a doctorate program.
To launch the doctorate degree.
PhD program.
Yeah.
It's more than laughable that when your undergrad degree is not even appreciated, even in Africa or West Africa, and somehow you want to upgrade to a doctorate program. I really don't know, when the education itself, when the standard is very low. You want to improve existing standard before you can talk about the next step. Your bachelor's degree and your master's, they are not even up to par with other countries, and you want to talk about PhD program. Is that a joke or what? Or what are you trying to create? It's a laughing stock. It's almost like somebody who cannot solve timetables trying to solve calculus. Somebody who cannot recite their timetable trying to solve calculus problem. It's a waste of time. It's a joke. It's a mockery out of education, in my view. Say what you want to say, but that's the reality. Our degrees is not being honored anywhere in the world. Sometimes it takes few credit, all depends which kind of a university, and they will take some credit. I'm not saying that coming from Liberia means that you wait. I'm just saying, in terms of the respect, in terms of the ranking, in terms of how they would perceive other country when it comes to the education, we are not among the top rank. So why would you want to be talking about PhD program? Why? I don't get it. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Monk. I think I'll also side with you. Also, you're correct. Yeah, Steve. Someone asking for Steve. Steve around still there with John Arch hopefully on tomorrow or better still Friday. So we started with the week. Monk and myself, we always we come up between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday up to Thursday, if possible Friday. So indeed, Steve and Wasego will join us anytime. I'll start from tomorrow. So those of you who asking for Steve, Steve is good. Steve is okay. Steve, in fact, Segu, in fact, they are even following us right now as we speak, and they're also sharing the show. So thank you so much for asking, and that's the best thing to do. But also check on them through their inbox, or maybe check on them through their numbers if you have. That's one of the best thing to do. Also, thank you. So Monk, so many things happening back home, and I know you are in room. I don't know which part of the room you are about, or which one of the room, but I guess you are in room 1026.
Oh yeah, 1026. The fingering room. And you know, I keep telling you, our public officials, they don't give Sktv as much credit as we deserve. They don't cite or quote us most of the time, but they take talking points from here. So I guess they be listening to the show. You know, when we read an article, we give credit to that particular or media institution, whether it's the reporter or the media institution itself. But when it comes in reverse, no, they want to downplay this particular platform, but that's a lie. I know we are giving some of the best quality content when it comes to news in Liberia. We do our analysis there. We don't take personal here. That's one of the reasons, or most of our public officials prefer not to show up on the show, except for the few brave ones, because we don't do sensationalism here. We don't do yellow journalism here, even though we are commentators and pundits. But that's just the reality. And something the speaker said, I never followed the entire thing with Chairman Yato that told me to go and watch it, but I was so busy late yesterday evening. But two things I pick up from the little segment I watched. He said, you know, I think they asking on Spoon Talk. I don't watch Spoon anyways, but Chairman Yato told me to watch that particular segment, like I mentioned earlier. And he said, they asking if the Supreme Court could force those other lawmakers to come and conduct business. And he said he's not too sure about that. But the one thing we all agree with, even the caller that listened to the show yesterday, I said it from day one. From the beginning, I said they are slowly walking their way into a constitutional crisis for the fact that everybody is calling balls and strike, knowing that they don't have the numbers. And if you want to hang your hat on the fact that Fanatic Kofa is going to put in a resignation, I'm not betting on that. So at the end of the day, you are slowly walking your way into a constitutional crisis. And that the one thing I said, the speaker agreed. And the speaker made another revelation that people, you know, Yeke Koluba, I want to tell people, when you listen to Yeke, that's why they say listening is a skill. When you listen to Yeke, I always tell people, you might not agree with his presentation, you might not agree with his style, but he's always factual, he's always ahead of the curve. He's always giving revelation that turns out to be the complete reality. Yeke said the reason most of these guys are threatening to get on committee because that's where they can do most of the stealing. They go into committee room. And the speaker himself confirmed that the guys who are the committee chairs, they believe that they are the committee. So when they are making decisions, they don't even consult their colleagues that are on the committee because they feel they are the head. So they take decision unilaterally. And that's exactly, those were the two things that I took from the speaker expose, or how you might call it, either way, or his interview or his answers. Those two things, that we are slowly walking to a constitutional crisis, and committee leaders or committee chairs believe that they are the committee rather than be the head of the committee, and they don't consult their colleagues when they are in the process of making any kind of informed decision. Yeah, those were the two.
Wonderful, Mark. I did follow myself, and there are so many things that also myself grabbed from the speaker, including a cartel. And I know whether you also hear that. Maybe if you did, then that's another point there too. Also, a cartel that we say that that need to be so strong, and to get rid of the cartel, you got to be very, very strong. And I don't know what you really mean by that, but again, these are cartels that maybe that making Liberia to be to where Liberia is today. But I don't know who are those cartels, or who are those people that that you're talking about. And also to that room 1026 or room 1026 that we are talking about, that they are where they go to do all of their deeds, all of their collection of monies, sharing of monies, and so forth and everything. Look, it is indeed frustrating, Monk, to even hear some of these things. And the speaker or talk lengthily last night or last evening, even when it comes to his party, when it comes to his standard bearer and so forth. And
maybe we could do that tomorrow, where we can play a segment of his the interview, and then we can break it down for our people and get some talking points. Hopefully, we can do that tomorrow, because yesterday there were just so many news that we couldn't even cover within our allotted time on this platform. Even to now, we cannot keep. Yeah, it's just so much. And another lawmaker that was on the other side, we heard that the people that said they were withdrawing, they are going back to the majority black. That it seems like they are smelling blood in the water, and they be like, you know what? If I sign up for it initially, then why is what logic does it make to withdraw my support? Now I might as well go there and take the cash and whatsoever that is available, because I know at the end of the day he might be ousted. So I don't want to be the loser on both ends. I think that's what I'm sensing, and I keep hearing from people.
And more, before we even table that, also, I don't know what there are some accusations, fingers pointing out even at the U.S. embassy, and the U.S. ambassador also coming out and say, no, we are nothing.
We are not meddling into your affairs. You know, I keep telling folks all the time, this whole idea that is a mindset. When the way you think determines the way how you act. We got this mindset that we claim to be an independent country that gained independence for more than 177 years. But when it comes to our own rule, when it comes to our own law, when it comes to making decisions, we always, I don't know whether the thing is just ingrained within our DNA that we must always look for some savior to come. Even our domestic issue that we sort of, let me tell you something, Mabel. Why you think a country will elect a bunch of officials to represent them in parliament or in the house? If you will be taking your problem to the U.S. embassy or to other international partners to come and interfere or intervene in something that you're supposed to be capable of handling, then that's why I keep saying we don't have a country. We don't have a government. Everything in Liberia is fundamentally broken. It makes no sense. Shut the thing down. Some people say trusteeship. Some people say interim government. I know we don't have a country. And the longer we pretend that we have one, the further down the dream will keep going. Because if you are hearing your lawmaker that you elected to be throwing job, and not throwing job, but making the idea or the sense that people from the U.S. embassy that they want for you to bring about sanction to threaten lawmaker, then there is no need of you being a lawmaker, because you're supposed to be the gatekeeper. If you cannot even settle dispute on the floor of the house or go into caucus and find a solution, then there is no need. So I will keep saying it over and over. We don't have a country. We don't have a functioning society. Liberia is a failed experiment. We are a failed state. Whether you like it, you don't like it, you can pull all the twists on it. At the end of the day, the reality is Liberia is a failed experiment. End of story. That's it.
Wonderful. Liberia is a failed experiment, according to my colleague, Regina Monk. So again, to those of you who just joining us, maybe if today is the first time joining us, let me say indeed welcome, and please follow the Sktv page, like, comment, and share. That's the best thing that you can do for us also. Thank you so much. And Monk, we have so many things today to talk about, our region from the ARWSC director, or maybe should we just say the water and soil, and maybe now, well, anyway, more Ali and accusations or to the same speaker Wahala that in fact the water and soil sponsor or support the removal of the speaker through their own budget allotment, according to their report or according to the allegations that were leveled against the ARWSC. We're going to talk about that. And also, Mark, the Nigerian man, right?
Yep. That story you just mentioned, we will get to that. But you know, the main story for today is this issue. That's why I keep saying people should always put their ears on the ground rather than following trend. Because when you keep following trend, sometimes politicians can weaponize trend. Even in the US, they do it sometimes. Even the media engage into that. when a major legislation or something is about to happen, they come up with certain story that will grab people's attention, and then behind the scene, maybe they pass a law or they pass a bill, and maybe on the weekend, because they know people go out on a Friday, on a Saturday. So in America, when you hear lawmakers staying for the weekend, you must know they got something big to pass, and they don't want a lot of people paying attention to some bill, whether it's on the budget, whether it's about financing a particular project. These things happen. So people need to desist from the habit of always following the trend, because we are so consumed by the fanatic Kofa story. But another big story is happening, and maybe we can read a segment of that article for our listener to understand about a Nigerian oil magnate who did a business in Liberia. You know, I tell people, when you grow older, you study. There are so many things we could learn, or we can learn moving forward into the future. But the reason we study two things, you see, it's very important: history and philosophy. The reason you study history is so you know what happened in the past, and when you can understand what happened in the past, you avoid making the same mistake into the future or in the present. That's the whole idea about history, so that you don't repeat the mistake of the past. That's one thing. And the reason you study philosophy, Melbourne, there are certain beliefs that you hold constant that will guide you in every aspect of your life, and those core belief will be your working state. Whether you believe in capitalism, whether you believe in communism, whether you believe in religious institution, philosophy is like a Swiss Army's knife for living life on this planet, because it will give you a step-by-step instruction as to how you can live and govern your own life. And when I saw this article, I was like, wow. So they I don't know if how you want us to do it. We can oscillate between this Nigerian flipper that is back in Liberia and the issue of the Mo Ali, because look, Melbourne, I don't know how to even say this. It can be so disheartening. A minute ago, one of my big brothers I always call on the Sktv, or we were talking about the thing. I said, man of God, sometimes when I think of my country, when I sit back, when I do some deep introspection, and when you reflect, you would think that this country is cursed, because I was told to believe that anything you cannot understand from a physical standpoint, then it got some spiritual connotation to it. You know, when you read a book of Deuteronomy, right? I don't know, I forgot the chapter. I don't know, it's chapter 13. It tells you that how foreigner will come into your country and eat the fruit of the land, that they will be able to lend to you, and you will be slave in your own country, and they will enjoy the fruit of the land, which is almost like a curse. It seemed to me that's what happening in our country, that the average Liberian, we are not making progress. That every good thing, whether it's the economy, whether it's the business sector, whether it's about the wealth of this country, foreigners come in, they take and they go. And the people who own the country and its resources, they cannot benefit. They are stagnant. They are going further into poverty. Melbourne, how can you explain such a phenomenon? That you live in a country, right? Everything that belongs to the country is supposed to be enjoyed by the masses within a country, the average people or the average person. But in the case of your country, nothing is happening. Everything is collapsing. But guess what? And somebody comes from a country. I'm not saying I don't have question with your businesses. Maybe there are some things that people can raise the red flag on. But if you can invest $250,000 into a country and walk away with $250 million, let's just say 200 million, which is close to $250 million, then why is it about that country?
Yeah, so
and that's what we'll be going into today. That's what we'll be reading to our audience, and just to get an idea as to what's happening. So that's up there.
Yes,
for
the wonderful.
the
So let me just give us, in fact, let me just give our people one latest update back home, and quickly we'll move on. But with the other story, very interesting, that police officer, in fact, the information coming up on Spoon Network, saying that police officer fight over chicken feet in Nima County, leaving one with a broken spinal cord. You know, it's also interesting, but what kind of Wahara did you put? So I beg you, why you keep laughing? Now let me read a story to the people. So my people, they are saying that according to the information, 2 police officers in Complex City, Nima County, have reportedly been involved in a very ghastly fight over one piece of chicken foot, leaving one officer with a broken spinal cord. According to our witnesses, the fight between Eton Ban and a police patrolman and Jeremiah Towa, a police support unit, PSU officer broke out after patrolman ban has questioned the the greater manner of for which the PSU officer Trevor was eating the food both of them were sharing. So, Monk, that's that number one news that we're getting that. And then news coming from Nima County that two police officers from the country, I don't want to laugh to them. Look, I don't know. The country is just fought over one chicken feet, and one person spinal cord broke because of the fight. So that's the news coming from Nima County. So again, on to the month, yes, on to the big month. Let me laugh too much. On to the yeah, man. What you see? What's now? Yeah.
Well, let me mute myself.
Yeah. So again, on today, we woke up this morning, early this morning with heavy rainfall. The rain started falling between 12 to 1 o'clock this morning. The rain is falling up to this morning, and there was flooding everywhere this morning. I've been woke up with their places of their homes then flooded with water all over. So again, they've been calling or they've been doing elsewhere call for the government to come to their aid to help them out in making sure that at least some of them who their homes are all drowning, so the government can help them. So that's another aspect of our news on today. Another one has to do with this. The president launching a doctorate degree at the Stephen University, where we saw or we witnessed the Student Unification Party or SUP today also protesting, stopping the president from entering, but having any food because of the police officer. They have to remove them from the way so that the president can go through. So the president went there and everything was successful. Again, we have this sad news coming from Bannerville and that truck, someone said, according to the information that truck owned by B Mountain or ran into bus, keke, and other motorcycles, leaving so many people dead, according to the information that we got. So far, so good, Mom. These are some of the training news. Apart from that, the speaker still having his own play-by-play interview with both media back to back and waiting for tomorrow as to what's going to happen if you don't have quorum. If his number keep dropping, then that means those guys from the anti-Kofa camp may likely take the day. So as we speak, these are some of the happening back home, Monk, and our viewers, our listeners.
You know, I couldn't stop myself from all the laughter because it gets so sad. And that will talk about the curse aspect of the country and the economic condition that is happening. Maybe you think of men who is being well paid, right? That is getting paid on time. I'm not saying you're going to pay him all the money in this world. When he can afford, when he can earn a living wage, you think he's going to fight over chicken feet? To the extent of breaking his rib. Now, think about not only the story itself, just look at the scenario. You are not getting paid on time. You are not earning a living wage. You're going to break your rib cage or your spinal cord or whatsoever, which require medical repair or surgery, and fighting over chicken feet. What do you think it tells you? What do you make of that story? It tells you a lot about the country. Not only the chicken feet and the fact that two police officers fighting. It tells you everything we say on the show in terms of the future of that country. It's a waste of time. It's almost like a curse. It's getting to a place that even the average man cannot make sense of an entire country. That's what's happening. And we keep telling you, the people who you elect into power, the people who are making the decision of the country, it's not going to get any better. We are talking about law enforcement officer. So think about the average person.
Let me play the video, Mark, please. I think that video is about 1 minute. Or
yeah, play. I mean, you run the show, so play.
Yeah. So let me play the video quickly so that our people can follow and know exactly what we are talking about here, so that it can be
the National Police Party. Et la bonne National Police Party. Rappelez, c'était la bonne National Police Party. Rappelez, c'était la bonne National Police Party. Rappelez, c'était la bonne National Police Party. Non, restez. Rappelez, c'est tout. la loi nationale police fatigue.
So, Monk, wow, serious disasters.
Yeah.
Monk, it is indeed embarrassing.
More than embarrassing. So disgrace.
And the speaker said that last night. He said, what are they talking in front of? Even doing, we're not talking for the Liberian people.
Oh yeah. And we said it, we keep saying it on the show. The reason now our government exists is only for one reason, and that reason is to enrich himself. The Liberian people, you are not on the agenda. It was never about you. It will never be about you. For you, you are only trying to survive. You are only trying to, you are not going to thrive in Liberia. I mean, based on the crop of leaders that you have in the country now, whether it's in the executive, including the president himself. We said it from day one. I know in my heart of heart, in the 21st century.
No, man.
Yeah.
No,
chicken feet. So what make you think? Let me tell you something, Mabon. Let me tell you one of the things about law enforcement. When law enforcement officers are paid on time, giving benefits and other perks, right? It boosts their morale. It makes the people to even be afraid of them when they're trying to execute their duties. But tell me, if you're a kid in Nima County seeing 2 police officers fighting over chicken feet, do you think you're going to ever respect the police in your lifetime growing up? You would never have regard for law enforcement. That's the lowest. That's why I say Liberia is getting to the place now where I think it's more spiritual than even physical. Because you can't even wrap your head around things that are happening in the country. You cannot make sense of it. It's beyond our thinking at this point. Yeah.
Monk, let's just move on to our, because tears already set my eyes because Monk is perceived fathers. Because these people, they are fathers.
Oh yeah.
Fathers fighting over chicken feet.
Yeah.
Look, Monk, you did you right. Look, we reached to the point that Liberians.
Yeah.
You see your own police officer fighting over chicken feet. No, Monk, look, I don't know what is that. You remember the show? Because if the people who are into who are a little bit closer to the power, someone will say the power will be, they are fighting over chicken feet. Then you and myself, Monk, who are in fact who are even distant. Thank you. What are you based on chicken feet for the
chicken feet better, bro.
Chicken feet near me. I like chicken feet too much, so I gotta jump in. Mom, but how did you know I like chicken feet?
Because I'm say I love eating chicken feet. But I don't think I'm gonna break. I don't think I'm gonna break my rib cage for chicken feet, though.
You call me one side, you put chicken in one side, chicken feet you're going for.
Oh,
yo, chicken feet.
Wow, welcome, man. But you see your own brothers fighting, but you, I think you'll be able to even fight, even though I love chicken feet, but not to that level.
Oh well. If the people can wear it, what about me?
Anyway, we don't know which room you are coming from. Maybe you're part of the room 1026. I don't know, but if you're part of the room 1026, well, then you have to do. You can follow watching your feet because anybody that part of that room 1026, you can follow watching your feet. So
that's where in Liberia business conducted in the whole country. 1026 room.
What was the room number again? 1026?
Yeah.
Yes, 1026.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for welcoming me, Mabon. And first off, I want to start, by telling you guys thank you for doing what you do. I've been watching the show sometimes, not all the times, but I've tried every little opportunity I got to watch the show. I can watch it. Yeah. So, somebody laughing about chicken feet, yo, I like chicken feet. So let me tell you some of the secrets here. I want to say it, when I say it.
Say it.
When the women there, when they cook the chicken feet and make it spicy, if you put that one in, you cook plenty of meat. You put it one side, you put that spicy chicken feet one side. The chicken feet with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Because
thank God, you're not part of any of the
yeah, but the other room number thing, honestly speaking, I listened to the speaker's interview on the Spoon Network. First of all, what I want to say in the first place, Liberia is not a good country. You know, all those guys, they are eager and ready. They can be rushing to go and have an interview with a convicted criminal, but they are afraid to sit with you and myself. They are happy to be scrutinized and questioned by a convicted criminal because they feel that they were Buckeye's loyalty lies. And they feel like whatever they say there, whatever that they complain they take there, Buckeye will receive their information quickly. Unfortunately, whether a crime is committed in the United States, whether the crime is committed in Sierra Leone or Guinea or Liberia, a crime is a crime. If you are a criminal, you are a criminal. But if you feel very comfortable to come and complain each other, even discuss each other, point fingers at each other, talking about who is more criminal than the other, in front of the person who is judging and who is giving them the question, who is more criminal than all of them. That is the first thing. For Nati Kufa, I listened to him. What I actually deduce is that it's all about greed. It's all about personal ego. It's all about who gets what. There's nothing there for the Liberian people based on what I have observed. And Konate, he said something, how, you know, the Liberian decision discussion should be taken at that hotel number. And then he says something. And then he referred to them as cartels. But why is it that he never alarmed about this? He never brought this to public attention, knowing that they were doing all the bad things. The only time he's going to talk about it, because now he's been challenged.
Yep, that's it.
Because now he's been brought to light.
Yep.
So personally, I won't take that to be anything.
Anything.
It's nothing.
Yep.
All those things, those are, you know, that when you are fighting, like you and somebody insulting each other, the next person always want to say something that's going to hurt you badly, even if it's a lie. They will say something to you that will hurt you because you're causing each other. Nobody beating their friend. So they think the person that can lay the heavy blow by insulting the other person more, that person will feel like they are really throwing, you know, heavy blow. But any allegation of they used to do this, they used to do that, but you never talk about it, only when they talk about your own, I wouldn't take that to be anything credible. I won't pay attention to it. There was another thing that I heard. The speaker admitted, without anybody questioning him, that his budget, at some point, his budget that's supposed to be around, I don't know, 1.5 something million dollars.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 1.4 million.
It went to 5 point something million dollars.
Yep.
And he said that was done unknown to him. But yet, his staffer informed him that, oh, Chief, you know your budget went up to 5 million plus? And then he said that happened unknown to him.
Which is laughable.
Somebody passed it in through my line, through the speaker's line, without the speaker's knowledge. I think that is a very good revelation that we need to dig deeper.
For sure.
I personally called the speaker twice after listening to it. He never responded. I texted him. He's here to respond. The reason why I did that, I always like to communicate with people. If I have a concern or we hear something new, we always want to reach out to you to know whether you can deny or admit certain thing. But those are serious cause, for concern. People should really be concerned about that. Okay, since your employer or whatever staffer told you that you went over your budget up to $5 million. $5 million, $5,000 we're talking about. $5 million United States dollars.
Yep.
You just pass through your line from the bank or
For the
whatever
budget.
payment you do to your budget unknown to you. You don't know it. Nobody told you.
Mm-hmm.
And the money we're taking, just on a car roll, the car will just come and pass through, in your yard. You don't know what's in the car. And you got another exit on the other side, the car will just come and pass through. And say, yeah, someone a car pass here. No. That doesn't make sense. I saw some of the supporters, friends, and well-wishers of the speaker that really wanted him to stay there. They were somehow happy with his revelations, his defense that he put up on the Spoon Network. But for me, the speakers even put himself in more trouble than we can see. And those who are saying that the speaker is not going to move, he's not going to go, from the way I listen to him, I think he's willing to exit. The only problem, whether exiting will save him from humiliation, from being disgraced, from being prosecuted. We shared this before, that they were planning to unseat him. Sktv broke the news here. Yeke called back him and said, yes, it was true. Chairman Musa Hassan Belete vehemently denied that there was no such a thing in the pipeline. That there was nothing. There was no plan at all to remove the speaker. Now here we go. Every names that were mentioned to him, that there could be some of the people behind the plot to remove him, he said he didn't think so. It can be the deputy speaker, that there's no way, and he believes he cannot be the speaker or the vice president. There are certain people that he is referring to as the cartels. I think this issue will bring more, it will unveil more dirt, more criminal art that are being perpetuated behind the scene. It will show the real criminal, true criminals, and they will expose each other. And what I heard the speaker saying, you're not trying to face this thing indoor. Let's face it in-house. If not, we'll expose each other. But one of the things that I heard that I really want the speaker to follow through, no matter what happened, he should not go back on his statement when he said he won an audit, full audit. And because of this revelation that during the 54th, that he went over his money, and he himself acknowledged that up to $5 million. And he even talked about one of the persons who he believed to be one of the cartels, supposed to have 600,000 on their budget. But then after they went to that hotel, the money went to 2 million plus. In fact, the speaker is telling you the people, he is aware of the fact that people go to that hotel, whatever room number that is, then they will call ministers, agencies, and other government or government agencies or government apparatus, tell them, hey, you got $4 million in your budget or $3 million in your budget. We're going to add 1 million there. Make sure you give us the 1 million. And they agree. And then they will go and steal the $1 million from the Liberian people. He's aware of that, but he never talk about it. I think this issue is really good. And I think the president, I mean, the how you call it, the
LCC,
the LCC,
yes,
should in fact invite the Speaker of the House to get more information based on the revelation that he made on phone network. A lot of people were actually in sympathy with him, thinking that he was wrongfully or abruptly, attacked, try to bring him down, to shame him, disgrace him. But his own revelations is creating more questions, it's inviting more questions than answer. So I think this thing is good. It's good for the Liberian people because they will be exposed. But guess what? At the end of the day, when they found out that all of them are about to be exposed, they will finish it behind the scene, unknown to all of us. They will say, oh, we have made peace among ourselves. The problem finished. The speaker is not going to be removed anymore. But if they continue to do what they are doing right now, I can guarantee Liberian people will benefit. So I think it's a good day. It's a good deal.
So, are you saying that if we continue like this, that means we're going to go into a constitutional crisis, like Mom been saying?
My man, you talk about when there's a functioning government, you talk about constitutional crisis. If things are done per the Constitution, if things are being stalled because the constitutional process has not been followed, there's nothing like constitutional process in Liberia. The only thing that they follow the constitution process on is to be elected. Once the election is done, the president and the executive care less about the Constitution. The Supreme Court care less about the Constitution. The legislature, they care less about the Constitution. What is going on in Liberia? There will be nothing like Constitution. Let me tell you. The LACC, the LAR, the Liberia Revenue Authority, all the money people have been collecting, they're supposed to go through some processes. But guess what? They're telling you that the man who is the director of the Freeport will generate $5 million, $6 million. He will report $4 million, and the $2 million, you do whatever he wants to do with it. They will tell you, they've been very selective in this whole criminal thing. If they're not part of anything or they don't get a share of anything, then that's a criminal. But once they get in a share, then everything is good. Let me tell you something. There will be no. What they're going to do? The more they fight, the more there's no oversight. The government is not going to stop functioning. User bargaining will take anything they want to take because there's nobody to hold it accountable. They will do whatever they want to do. The longest this thing goes on, the more they will take away from the Liberian people. There will be nothing. And the Liberian people are not going to wake up and say, you know what? The government can't be functioning like this. We deserve to have 3 branches of government. And one is dysfunctional. That means that is a cause for our government to be hot. That's what they call constitutional, problem. But there's no constitution crisis in Liberia. Nobody respecting the constitution. To the bargain, they will take advantage of this and they will move on. They will take as much as they can. They turn anytime they put their act together, then they can kind of join the party and start eating some stuff. There'll be nothing like constitutional crisis.
Well, Mark, maybe you want to also add up before we go for the news break. I don't know whether maybe you and Sekou will continue or you want to join us for the news.
So we're just following me. I don't know. I think we'll do the news break together like we've been doing recently, so that we want to see.
I don't mind. I'm not going to change anything. Whatever you want, you can do that.
Yeah, let's go for the news break.
Yeah, so just chip in, Mark, to what Sekou was saying while I'll do some work behind the scenes.
Yeah, Sekou said some point right. I mean, I think he got most of it right because they don't have regard for the Constitution anyways. Yeah. And they would take this particular crisis as even an opportunity to even steal more. I believe in that. And you said something that I believe that the Liberian people don't have the balls enough to even, because they're the ones who will be the one issuing the idea of a constitutional crisis to stop the whole thing from happening. And one thing people don't understand, when the first branch of government is not operational, then it means they're going to stranglehold the executive. They mean the executive cannot even operate as well. So that's where the constitutional crisis comes from in a functioning society. And that's something even the speaker himself agreed to. One thing here is, I now listened to the full interview and some of the responses that he gave, but I heard a few of them. One thing here is, if Fanatic Cover believe he gets to the point where he's going to be ousted, he will want to cause more damage. And what he's doing now is more of a damage control by exposing, because he himself is not exempted. If you are calling them cartel and you ban the hot speaker, matter of fact, you been there before you became a speaker, then you yourself also part of the cartel. So who knows where or how far this investigation might go and who will be exposed in the process. And I know it will lead back to the executive. So it's all about the revelation that will be coming out and how people are going to interpret them. But I know this thing is not going to get better. And some of the statement the speaker is making, it's almost like things we've been saying. Like, Liberian, their thing is not about you. It will never be about you. It's all about few people getting rich at your expense every day. They can do what they want to do with the budget, like the scenario Sekou just gave, from 1.4 million to upward of 5 million. And you got a speaker that got all the staff in his office, all the people that he hired. They tell you that he's not aware of line item in the budget. That's a lie. That's what I'm saying. If Fanatic Cover gets to the point where he believes that no matter what he will be asked, then it means he would take a lot of people down with him, and that's where it will become interesting. That's why I want to see. Then we'll be watching the Liberian people now. Not our lawmakers anymore. The Liberian people as a whole, as a country, we will be waiting to see what we can do to stop the bleeding moving forward. Whether you call for trusteeship, whether you want interim government, whether you want military takeover, you the one will make that call, because this country is not operational. You think that you got a government, but no, behind the scene. And even your Chief Justice told you this. She gave you a clue. You guys see so much, we want our share. And we told you right here on Sktv. So I think I agree with Sekou on that part about the constitutional crisis, except I will expect that to come from the Liberian people and not from lawmakers, because they will find a way to get out at the end of the day. And I think I agree with that point. Totally agree with that point. But I don't know whether you stay there. I mean, if we can transition to the news bulletin.
So Mon, you know, let me tell you something. While we wait Melbourne to get ready, you know, if you have a country where you have check and balance being respected, you have 3 functioning government. There were constitutional crisis is created because why? There are certain things that other branches were not allowed to go on as long as the other branches now functioning.
Yeah, that's the whole idea of check and balance.
Yeah.
All right, so please tell us to come. We gotta go for
maybe tell Maka David after the show, you must gain my number after the show to let him call me. I got some information to share with him.
All right, boss. Thank you so much. And you're going to do that.
And tell him he's doing great with this thing, what he's doing. Maybe you got him muted though. Okay. Oh, they shouldn't. The thing already here.
Yeah, I think he instituted about to. I'm hearing some sounds, some feedback coming from him now. I think he's about to start the bulletin.
Yeah, once he's ready, we can now bring him on. So we have a lot going on. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's ready.
Marcus, when you're ready, you can start. We'll just meet ourselves. Okay, he's ready.
A pleasant good evening, RCR News Bulletin at 7. My name is Marka Davis. In the headlines, President Joseph Boakai officially launches Liberia's first doctoral programs at the University of Liberia. House Speaker Fonati Kofa says he will resist the holding of separate section by those calling themselves the majority bloc of the House of Representatives on Thursday. The British government commits to supporting efforts to abolish the death penalties in Liberia. And off the home front, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency drops a money laundering case against a top cryptocurrency executive to allow him to get medical treatment abroad, according to the BBC. Those are the headlines. Now the news in details. President Joseph Boakai has officially launched Liberia's first doctoral programs at the University of Liberia. Held at the Capitol Hill campus of the university, the occasion marks a major milestone in Liberia's academic development and positions the country to significantly enhance its intellectual and research capacities. In a special remark, President Boakai described the launch of the PhD programs in health sciences and education administration as a transformative step in the nation's education sector, aligning with the government's long-term vision for inclusive development. An executive mansion release quotes President Boakai as saying, "The launch marks a turning point in Liberia's higher education landscape," adding, "These programs are part of government's deliberate efforts to strengthen academic excellence, research, and innovation in Liberia." The president reaffirmed his administration's unwavering commitment to supporting higher education through investments in infrastructure, research funding, and partnerships with international institutions. President Boakai also commended the University of Liberia's leadership and the first cohort of doctoral students for their commitment to this initiative, reminded the students of their critical role as pioneers who must uphold the values of integrity, academic rigor, and innovation. House Speaker Fonati Kofa says he will resist the holding of separate section by those calling themselves the majority bloc of the House of Representatives. Speaker Kofa said the rules that govern the House must be adhered to rather than being violated. The House Speaker said he would use the legal means to demand lawmakers to attend section beginning this Thursday in line with the laws. Appearing on Spoon Talk Tuesday night, the Speaker said those opting his removal as Speaker must obtain the total 49 votes of the House out of the 73 lawmakers that make up the House's membership. He believes that once they cannot obtain such number, any form of separate section carried out at the House this Thursday sitting will be resisted. In a related development, Representative Musa Belete has reiterated his statement against attempts to unlawfully remove Speaker Kofa from the House. Representative Belete said Speaker Fonati Kofa will remain as Speaker of the House unless it is done through votes, and it takes the signatures of 49 members to do so. The Nema County District 7 representative, speaking in a live Facebook podcast on Wednesday, called on members of the House to place the interest of the country above all other interests in the midst of the ongoing leadership crisis. At the same time, Representative Belete is calling for a reform of the legislature to ensure it serves the purpose of good governance. He maintained that the fight to remove the Speaker of the House is not in the interest of the Liberian people. The civil society human rights advocacy platform of Liberia, with funding from the British Embassy, has officially launched a project to abolish the death penalty in Liberia. Speaking during the launching ceremony, the chairman of the board of directors of the platform, Reverend Francis Colley, said there is growing consensus for universal abolition of the death penalty and torture, and it is the right time for Liberia to join the rest of the world for the abolition of these two cruel anti-human rights acts. Reverend Colley pointed out that the Liberian government the CSOs must use collective approach to eradicate inhumane treatment and return victims who were allegedly tortured in the past. Performing the official launching ceremony, a British ambassador accredited near Monrovia, New Bradley, reaffirmed the commitment of his government to the universal abolition of the death penalty. According to the British ambassador, Liberia, signatory to the second optional protocol of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, requires the state to impose a moratorium on execution and amend its laws to eliminate the death penalty. The ceremony, which was held at the local hotel in Monrovia on Wednesday, was graced by representatives of the Ministry of Justice, the European Union, the West African Regional Organization ECOWAS, civil society organizations, and the media. An international conservationist, Cynthia Bradford, has indicated that among the nations of the world, Liberia is best suited to overcome the threat emanating from climate change. Speaking to RCR News Wednesday, Cynthia Bradford said Liberia has a huge opportunity to address the issue of climate change and become a leader in the fight to mitigate its impacts. The American-based conservationist noted that with the ultimate partnership the Green Enterprise Development and Innovation Hub continues to play in Liberia, the world would not be in error to rate the country as the one that saves and promotes biodiversity in the face of global climate change. Cynthia Blandford is president of the University Consortium, and she spoke during the signing of a tripartite memorandum of understanding involving the Cotton University, Nimba University, and the African Methodist Episcopal University held on Wednesday in Monrovia. The MOU was signed as part of the Higher Education for Conservation activities funded by USAID with an aim to build the skills of Liberia's forest and natural resource workforce to support conservation. You're listening to a bulletin of news from the News and Current Affairs Department here at the Renaissance Communications Incorporated. My name is Maka Davis presenting. In more news, the newly appointed director of the Zozo Rural Teachers Training Institute, ZRTTR in Lofa County, Ebi Kotu Kakula, has announced ambitious plans to elevate the institution from a B certificate program to a bachelor's degree program. In his first media engagement, Kakula highlighted ZRTTR's reputation as one of Liberia's leading teacher training institutions and emphasized the need to provide an improved learning environment for aspiring teachers in the region. According to him, the proposed transition will offer students from Lofa, Bong, and Nimba counties the opportunity to obtain a bachelor's degree locally and will help reduce the necessity to travel to urban areas of Vonjama for higher education. Kakula outlined his strategy to meet with school administrators in Lofa, Bong, and Nimba counties to encourage their students to take advantage of the teacher certificate programs offered at ZRTTR, something he believes will significantly enhance the educational sector in central Liberia. He further explained that a shift to a bachelor's degree granting institution is expected to create more opportunities for future teachers and strengthen the educational workforce in the region. Integrity Watch Liberia, in collaboration with Tax Justice Network Africa, have ended a day-long stakeholders dialogue aimed at enhancing the national policies on increasing domestic revenue mobilization and curbing illicit financial flows in the country. Speaking at the opening of the dialogue held at the Monrovia City Hall on Wednesday, Integrity Watch Program Director Navin Arilan said the discussion is intended to raise the necessary funding to support national development initiatives. According to Ariland, there is a need to amend the laws on personal income tax, real property administration transfer, the rent control bill, and the exposed proceed tax. The Integrity Watch Liberia Program Director also encouraged citizens' participation in these bills so as to enable members of the national legislature to take a decisive action on these proposed amendments on the aforementioned bills. Out of Liberia now, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency has dropped a money laundering case against a top cryptocurrency executive to allow him to get medical treatment abroad. Tigran Kampayan, a U.S. citizen, was arrested on a business trip to Nigeria in February and later charged alongside his company, Barnice, with laundering $35.4 million, which they denied. The 40-year-old was in charge of financial crime compliance at Barnice, the world's largest crypto exchange that Nigeria blames for much of its recent economic turmoil. It accused the digital platform where investors can buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrencies of fixing exchange rates and currency speculation, leading to the free fall of the local currency. The charges against Barnice, including tax evasion offenses that it denies, were part of a clampdown by the Nigerian authorities on cryptocurrency firms in general over fears they were being used for money laundering and financing terrorism. Mr. Gabayan's family has been calling for his release over concerns about his health, saying conditions at the Kuje Correctional Center, a prison in the capital Abuja, where he had been held since April, were exacerbating a back problem for him. To end this bulletin of news, a recap of the headlines. President Joseph Boakai officially launches Liberia's first doctoral programs at the University of Liberia. House Speaker Fanati Kofa says he will resist the holding of separate section by those calling themselves the majority bloc of the House of Representatives this Thursday. In the effort to abolish the death penalty in Liberia, the British government commits to supporting the efforts by civil society organizations in the country as they jointly launch the project to end or to abolish the death penalty in the country. And out of Liberia, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency drops a money laundering case against a top cryptocurrency executive to allow him to get medical treatment abroad, according to the BBC. That's RCR News Bulletin at 7. My name is Maka Davis.
So yes, we are at the end of the news bulletin. Hopefully, Melbourne is getting ready to get back. Okay, Melbourne is here. Yeah, Melbourne, back to you.
Well, thanks to you and Mark for holding on. And Father, let me say thanks to our viewers and our listeners also. I don't know, one of the things that caught you and Mark attention, especially coming from the news bulletin. It's just so interesting though.
Yeah, let's hear from Mom. Then I will say something.
Yeah, I'm back. I mean, you guys were talking. I think I was muted. My senior Ponde myself were lecturing behind the scene while the news were on a break. I mean, you guys, went for a break, so I didn't get it part of what you guys were saying. But I'm back now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are asking about the news bulletin. Whether maybe there's anything that caught your attention.
Nobody just told you. You're not listening.
No, I didn't follow the news bulletin. I was on the phone in the background.
Yeah. No problem. But then go ahead, Segu.
Yeah, so actually I enjoy the news bulletin as always. And Maka David, you know his things, man.
He knows his crap. Like, I love how he can read.
he knows the thing. That's why he's the head. I think he's the head of the news department.
The news bulletin, yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
I'm not saying other people don't know what they're doing, but he can do better. Yeah, he understands exactly what's going on. I see why he is the head of the news department there. A lot of people admire him, to be honest.
Oh yeah, the first time he got all the positive review from Sktv-Lib audience, I could just see all the emojis and Maka David taking it cool.
Maka David is a celebrity on Sktv.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what made me say this? Because I was in here. I've been actually following him. I've been seeing him giving the news bulletin, but somebody else, send me a message about Maka David. I said, "But who is Maka David? I didn't see Maka David. I know they wanna be, they wanna be on True FM." I said, "Yeah, that's the one." I said, "Okay, that's good." Yeah, so you should text me his number, give him my number after the show. So
yes, indeed, I'm going to do that. Even though you've been a good friend of Maka David for a very long time, I can still recall, even though
I know Maka David. I know him.
Yes, all right. So, but for me, this team that really caught my attention in the news bulletin having to do with the speakership, where Speaker Fonante Kofa talking about on tomorrow you're going to resist any form of extra session on tomorrow. I think tomorrow again will be another busy day again for us as people. We're going to watch as to what's going to happen. But Sekou, with the kind of more threats, should I call it threats, or with the kind of more news coming from the speaker? What will be your own prediction if you were to predict as to what's going to happen on tomorrow?
Nothing much. All these things that they are doing is about what is in it for me individually, what I will get. Because he did this thing to me, because he didn't give me this position, I'll make sure you are removed. Because, you share X amount of money with other people. Because of that, you'll be removed. Until I can get my share. The way, someone who's been here for a long time, you put a new people that came because you help them, get elected, you get them committee. In fact, somebody are even accusing the speaker of, giving committee position to some of these people to get a kickback. That some of them were sidelined. They were not giving the position because the speaker is expecting something from other people who were appointed. So the speaker said something. I don't know whether you guys grabbed that. He said, if the people want, if they decide to say, you know what, all the appointments, all the committees be dissolved, let's start all over. He said, let it just have a 49 vote, 49 signature. That means they will revise everything. They will start everything all over. And then maybe some people will get the position they want. But the speaker was very clear. He said, how will you promise somebody during the election, if you vote for me, if you support me, I'm going to give you, the chairmanship of S, Y, and Z committee, and then how can you renege on your statement after they vote? So, like the way things are done in Liberia, whether it's in the Senate or the House of Representatives, or even our electoral process, people who are at the election commission, even the common people that are voting, as long as we continue to do business as usual, the people don't vote on issue. We don't select people based on competency. We don't choose people based on the technical know-how or any idea of deliverable. As long as we're voting for people based on cash they give us, or what we expect in return, personally, not in the collective interest of the country, just our personal pocket, our personal, ego in our pocket. We'll always get things like this. Those who voted for this guy or for Fonante Kofa, majority of the new one, Kofa did exactly what most of the people that we do. They will go around, they will find winnable candidates, and they will find winnable candidates. They will invest in them with the promise that when you win, when you come to the legislature, you should support me. I know a sizable number of people that Speaker Kufuor sponsor, so personal. He put his money in to help them campaign. So you don't expect them to have loyalty to any other person in the other community beside him. Even some of them, not even to the country. Their loyalty will always be with Speaker Kufuor, who helped them get elected. And the reason why they got elected, the reason why some of them, Kufuor, they didn't give money to Kufuor to get a position. Kufuor actually spent money on them. And in order for Kufuor to get most of his money back, you got to get them position. Position that we're not just getting their salary.
I mean, you got to work to pay.
You got to work to pay, because I fight to give you the position. I got to employ you in a position. I got to put you in a place wherein you're going to be making money and pay me back. That's what's going on. So some of them, their loyalty is with Kufuor, not with the country, not with the legislature, not with anybody else but Kufuor. But again, in order for them to get the money to pay, it's not going to be just from their mere salary. So they got to be given committee position. My man, you just listen to the speaker. Everything that is going on in that country, especially those in power, is about what they can get to put in their pocket. So that extra setting they're asking for, they're asking for a compromise. And Kufuor is saying, since you started a process, finish the process. You cannot do it halfway, then you have a compromise. The only compromise I can do, go and have your number, either remove me, or if you can remove me, you can vote to change our rules. You can vote to redo all the appointments, including the committee position and every other position. But as is right now, there's no way that I'm going to compromise, because you already stabbed me in the back. There's no more trust. The only compromise you can have right now is to have the number to remove me, or you join me. Let's do the thing the right way. So it's going to be a little bit fight, but guess what? The Baga government will enjoy the ride. They already got nobody looking up to, nobody looking, nobody actually paying attention to what they are doing, or so holding accountable. Only the media holding them accountable. And in fact, not all the media. Majority of the media and media practitioners in Liberia, they're sitting there to get money from the government, from government officials. In fact, some of them, they are on payroll. So whatever little information they get, they send it to them. They talk about it. They present the good side of it about certain people that they like, and people that they're against, they present the ugly side of it. So at the end of the day, this thing is going to end as usual, as Liberia will always. Our situation, people will run with stuff. So
with the deputy speaker too, with the letter that I was saying quickly, maybe Montu will also want to look at that also, but quickly before more coming, with the letter too that was sent to the deputy speaker and that of the chief clerk of the Republic of Liberia from the anti-Kufuor camp. What's your observation about that letter? Do you think that's the right thing to do, especially in the number?
You said a letter came from the deputy speaker, sir?
No, there's a letter that came from the anti-Kufuor camp that was sent to the deputy speaker to preside on tomorrow for them. They are requesting.
He cannot do that. He cannot do that.
They can because they can establish a quorum, and what Fanaticofa is not capable of doing. So technically, you got two gavels.
Hold on 1 second. You know, that would be a plain daylight coup d'etat. They can do it, but it's not the right way to do. Because the speaker is not yet removed. If the speaker was removed legally, then the deputy speaker will automatically preside over the house until they can get something going, or they can restructure the leadership. But the fact that the attempt to remove the speaker was not successful, any other business done outside of the regular one would be unlawful. They would do it. They can do it because they're Liberia, but they're not supposed to. If the speaker was removed, yes, of course. Simply because a quorum, you know, in any institution, a quorum is, a quorum depends on, the rule of the institution. Most of the quorum will say simple majority. Once you get simple majority, you can have, that will constitute a quorum that can,
members.
serious business.
Yes.
But then some will require, on serious matter will require 2/3 majority of the membership present. So the fact that the speaker is not yet removed, what legitimacy does the deputy speaker have to even create a quorum? He's not a speaker. That's a coup d'etat. You can't do that. They want to do it, they can do it. But they want to do it, they may do it, but that's not legal. If the speaker was removed, then the speaker refused to relinquish power after being legally removed, then, of course, the deputy speaker can add in his capacity as a speaker to do the proper business. But the fact that you not get number to be, because it's like a first thing first. If you don't have the number to remove him legally, you cannot go simply because you have quorum. Quorum is not the legal way to take over. The legal way is to make sure you got enough vote to remove him constitutionally, and then now we can also now bring yourself together and form a quorum. Who are you to form a quorum? Are you the Speaker of the House? No. The Speaker is incapacitated? No. Is the Speaker sick or something happened to the Speaker? No. Is he dead? No. He's well and alive. So there's no way.
But yeah, the problem. Here's the problem to that theory, right? The argument here is the opposition blocked the Fanaticofa. They don't have the number to remove him, which is 49. But don't forget, apart from the Constitution, they have their own standing rules that govern how they operate. Now, the first step to even do business is to call for a quorum. Fanaticofa is a shy of that number. So the opposition bloc, they will make the water even muddier just so that they can make sure they can push Fanaticofa out, even though they don't have the number to remove it. So when you get two different groups, or that split the lower house into two, and one group got a number to call for a quorum, then technically you have two gavel in the house.
No,
they might not be able to remove it, but they can be able to conduct business on a legal framework, and Fanaticofa is not. That's where the problem is going to come from. That's why I believe they're walking to a crisis, and maybe the Supreme Court will come in.
You will conclude your statement. Let me tell you this. It's like in the United States, people are voted for president not based on popular vote, but based on electoral college. Electoral college, Hillary Clinton won the election here. She won the popular vote of the election. But because the Constitution says, even though she got majority of the vote in the United States, but she was not president. Because why? The Constitution says election is won based on electoral college. And Donald Trump won the electoral college. That's how Donald Trump became president. So not only because you have the number for a quorum, But first thing first, you are not qualified. That's the point. That's the caveat to the whole thing. You are not qualified to even establish a quorum. You must have the legitimacy to preside. Now, okay, let's say, for example, let's say hypothetically, let's say Francis Kofa and his deputy, they are all on the same side. Can just any group of people can just get up behind all of them to go and have a creation of a meeting, call it a quorum, and do legal business on behalf of the Liberian government? No, they can't. So the thing is, first, the fact that they cannot establish the leadership part of it, there's no way somebody can be qualified to preside over anything, calling it a quorum. No, it's not a quorum. What the legitimacy? Once legitimacy is missing in the process, you cannot legally do any business for the government. And do the Baga government, if the Baga government decide to work with those people, they'll be doing it illegally.
Maybe on checking your back, I think Pastor Gerard comments. I think yesterday he said he wanted to chime in on this issue. I think he sent the link. I'll share it with him. Yeah, maybe he's a journalist. He know what's up.
Yeah, that's fine. We can share with him.
If you can see him in the back, I don't know. Maybe you can bring him.
Let me see if he's in the back. But you have the link?
Yeah, I think I forwarded the link.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. I got it.
Yeah, I'm seeing also.
Yeah, so Pastor Joe Cummings is my. I will send the man I met. I'm not calling my boy. He's my friend. He's my brother. But for all the way back there, back home. Well, anyway, Pastor Cummings, welcome. So
good afternoon, Sekou, and good afternoon.
So let me end my comment. Then one will, say what he wants to say. Then we'll go to Pastor Cummings. So the thing is, I've always said this, I'm not a legal practitioner, but I've been around for many, and I know government. I know how government functions. So the only way you can even call for a meeting or call it a quorum, what give you legitimacy to even preside? Only presiding officer can call for a meeting and then have a quorum, and then you can have business. You can add business on behalf of the Liberian people. But if you don't get the legitimacy, you have no right to even establish a quorum. I just wanted to say that more. So it's not the number, it's about being legal.
For me, from my own understanding, if you got the people with their number, even though they don't have the right to remove the speaker, but that's the whole objective, to delegitimize the speaker by removing him, either by impeachment or by removal.
You know what they can legally do? Stay away, not participate in anything, disable the speaker, not be able to establish a quorum to do the people work. Then at the end of the day, then the country people can say, you know what, enough of this. If you don't have control of the House of Representatives, say if we don't want you, resign.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the whole objective.
Yeah, but Labrador, we're not going to do that. We don't have nobody in Labrador to do that.
Not only, I'm talking from the legal side. That's why I say that, and that's why the speaker even insinuated that when push comes to shove, the Supreme Court will be dragged into the day. That's why from day one, I look at the whole thing. I said, I say, you know what? They are slowly working their way into a constitutional crisis where the Liberian people is capable of triggering the constitutional crisis or not. But I know that's why we lead to. Because the expectation is if we can delegitimize the president, even though we don't have the number, we can force him to resign. And that speaker is not looking at someone who will let them talk about resigning. That's when the Supreme Court will come in.
If they stay out consistently and now they don't go to work and they don't want to work with the man, and the man cannot establish a quorum, there could be a rule too. There could be a rule if you willfully decide not to come to work. There could be a rule that could be applied on you. And if you are suspended, you get limitation. You know what constitutes a quorum? The majority of the people. So let's say, for example, if a quorum is supposed to be steady number, but if 5 people are suspended that cannot legally function, that will reduce the number of the number that is required to have a quorum. So if you just illegally step, you have to stay away, and then the men got the people, they will suspend certain people, and once they talk about simple majority, let's say, for example, if there's 70%, a simple majority going to be 36. I'm just saying 70%. But then if you reduce it to 60, simple majority of that one now will be 31. So you see it? So there are a lot of things in it that you may not know, especially when it comes to rules, their own rules.
That's why I'm saying their own rules
is an extension of the Constitution.
Okay.
So let's talk to
let's talk to Mr. Cummings. So
let's talk to the pastor of Honorable Gerald Cummings.
Good afternoon. And let me say good afternoon to the viewers and listeners back home in Liberia. You know, what caught my attention as it relates to the issue involving Fonati Kofa and his colleagues is this, and I want you to pay close attention. 6 years ago, we had Speaker Buffer's chamber, and you will go back from the embryo stages of Buffer chamber to the end. The lawmakers were not chanting slogans that they should remove buffer chambers. The one person that had issue with buffer chamber all throughout was Representative Yaka Koluba. It's a clear indication that there was some collaborative effort either to enrich themselves at the detriment of the Liberian people. They were not talking at the time with all of the hula baloo that went on at the House of Representatives, with all that transpired yesterday. These guys never gang up against the speaker, calling for his removal. Sekou, it speaks volume within less than, let's say, 11 months, the members of the lower House of Representatives, after voting for a man who played host to them, who they claim, quote unquote, is the best person to be speaker, with just in few months to come out and say, we have issue with the speaker. And some of the allegations are so laughable. So this is a clear indication that the Liberian people are caught between the spider web here. The Liberian people are the ones these guys are using to enrich themselves. Like I said, look at the reaction from Representative Dixon Sibo and few of the colleagues who stay in the House there. Just look at the reaction and that of Thomas Fowler. It tells you that this speaks volume, that these guys, it was play to pay, or they were getting caught, or they were getting more money, according to what Speaker Kofa said. People wanted to be on a particular committee to one extent that people wanted to go to Guinea to form this, to go and meet with the Guinean government because they believe that they will go and get some money from support from the Guinean government. That was laughable, very, very laughable. So in a nutshell, these lawmakers are not serious people. They are not serious. The Liberians need to wake up, Sekou. Because even if you go back to that of Snow, what transpired when Snow had a group on the other side and the other group were meeting, and we know that I interviewed Representative, what his name's, the guy from Maigibi, Sabodi. Sabodi admitted that he received $5,000. When I asked him what
Pastor Cummings, you mean the former?
Yes, former Representative Sabodi.
No, the former Deputy Police Director under.
Yeah, he was Assistant Minister for Correction as well.
Okay.
And then became a speaker.
The last time Sabodi used to be a Deputy Police Director.
Yeah, and then later on he became Assistant Minister for Correction. Okay. And became a representative. He admitted that he received $5,000. When I asked him where the $5,000 came from, he said, Jerome, don't sleep, man. The thing came from across the street from the executive mansion to us. So you can't compare what transpired. The thing most people don't know is that some of the things that led to snow removal was closely associated with the deed that he was trying to strike with Taiwan. That was the thing that broke the camel's back. Ellis Tyler came into the picture. We all know what transpired with B-Ball 1, B-Ball 2, and B-Ball 3. Second, in our country, it seems like most people are not doing investigation. This was the same Fonati Kofa who spearheaded the investigation on the B-Ball 1, B-Ball 2 saga. Today, Fonati can tell us what became of the outcome of that legal proceeding. Nothing. But his colleagues claimed that this guy was the best person to be speaker. So it's like he who pays the piper plays the tune. And Liberians are just caught up in the spider web. I don't think we're going to come. Monk said, talk about something about constitutional crisis. Monk, if you watch the snow scenario and Ellis Tyler and all the things that play around the Big Ball 1, Big Ball 2, will not come to a place where there will be a constitutional crisis. These guys will remove Fonati Kofa. They will pressurize Fonati, and if Fonati cannot play ball to them, that 43 members will remain on the other side. Fonati Kofa will not be able to do business.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
So did we lose
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. I'm just getting you loud and clear.
Have you concluded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Article 33 of the Liberian Constitution says, and I quote, simple majority of each house shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business. But a lower number may adjourn from day to day and compare the attendance of absent members. You see what I was saying earlier, Monk? So they can play rebel all they want, but they have to come to work. If they don't come to work, there will be some legal remedies. The best way forward, the best thing they can do, and nobody can fight it, is to make sure they acquire the necessary, the required number, the legal number, which is having the majority on their side, to remove the speaker and put anybody they want. There's no other way around it. If they cannot have the number, let it come and have a conversation with the speaker, put forward their qualms or reservations, and resolve it among themselves. For me, if you ask me, in Liberia, listening to the Speaker of the House, knowing what I know about Liberia, they are all a bunch of corrupt-minded people. Nobody in it for Liberia. Nobody wants to do anything for Liberia.
Thank you.
Everybody doing everything for themselves, and nothing is enough for Liberia. And at this point in time, the Liberian people, they are not ready to do anything. Everybody's going to take their position, supporting who they support, especially on party lines, on country lines, and on tribal lines as well. So there will be no collective effort on the side of the Liberian people to hold the leaders accountable. So you got to go to work, you got to do the people job. They're all corrupt-minded people, whether it's Kofa, whether it's the rebel group, whether it's the other group that's supporting Kofa, they're all corrupt. If this was about Liberia, Kofa is pointing to some things that, scares me. You know all of those things, then you're not saying it. When they're coming to say it, when they hold your feet to the fire, they want to remove you.
And second, that's why I went back to the issue of buffer chamber. It's a clear indication that there was a game play and everybody was benefiting from the gain. This has to do with no bill that they will put forth for the Liberian people. Everything Fonati Kofa said yesterday, he is as guilty as the group who call themselves that, I mean, the group that are saying they're against him, because he knows all these things and his constituents.
I'm sorry, it looks like people who want to call in. I have
I think we're almost 11 minutes. I don't think I don't know if we'll take calls today because.
Okay, let me take Abraham. Abraham want to chime in here. Abraham, one of the regular callers. Let's hear from Abraham.
All right.
And then we'll see what we can do after that. Abraham.
Yes, good afternoon, my brother, and good afternoon to Mo, Neighbor, and then, of course, Pastor Collins.
Yes, sir.
Fascinating topic. I know this issue has consumed both Liberians at home and in the diaspora. But, I just wanted to point this out. The scenario, I keep hearing people making this comparison between, among the last three speakers or so, Ellis Tyler and Snow, and then this case. People are forgetting that Snow did not have the political base to fight back. He won his case in the Supreme Court. But because he now had a political base to fall back to, because he got elected as an independent at the time, like in 2005. Why is true he came from MP originally, but he now had a political base to stand by him at the time to fight back. Now, Ellis Tyler was part of the United Party at the time he became speaker, so it was an easy ride. Despite the fact, Ellis Tyler still fought, I think his battle went on for over a month or so. If I'm not mistaken, up to 45 days or something. The country was held hostage. Now, you're talking about a speaker that got elected from the very immediate past government party and the largest political party in the country. So the thing that...
Say the larger opposition. They say the larger opposition political party.
The largest opposition party in the country, so to think that somebody's think that, this guy will just sit somewhere and then compare him to go out. Look, this is about time that leadership is required. If the president is the arrowhead in the country, I think he needs to take some initiatives here to stabilize the situation.
So you think that will not be an interference from the president, from the executive interference?
Here's the thing: he has a political party, correct? Mm-hmm. And then all of the 11 United Party members, I think 11 or 12, that are in the house, all of them, they are in lockstep to remove this man. Especially where this president extended invitation to him on official matter. And he had offered nothing to his guys to say, hey, look, this man was on an official matter with me. So whatever it is, it's going to affect us. And mind you, by the 25th of this month, the draft budget is supposed to be landing in the House of Representatives. Who's going to deliberate it? Your projects, everything is going to strangle later until the House gets stabilized. So, and you cannot go ahead and deal with a renegade group while there's an incumbent speaker. So it's a no-win situation for the incumbent government.
Thank you.
They need to take some initiative.
Thank you, Abraham. Thank you for your brilliant.
Thank you, man.
So let's get to Mr. Dishil from Belgium. So we not take a lot of calls today. We just take a few calls. Maybe the conversation will continue tomorrow. Maybe so we can have.
Tomorrow the main day.
So, Honorable Dishil, Melvin Dishil from Belgium. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sekou, and hi to the group that is there, Mayborn and my man, Cyrus, and all the other listeners. Look, Sekou, I wanted to bring to your attention the last interview that the speaker had today in his office. I think you should go and review
today or the one that happened yesterday?
I'm talking about today.
Okay.
He revealed the information from Spoon. All the questions were asked today by the different radio stations, OKFM, Freedom FM, all the radio stations were there. And he had an interview with them. It was very interesting.
Okay.
The things that I took from there, one is that the speaker is not interested in being president. That question was posed to him. He said that he told his people from Sano, it's only one term. So only there's one term that Speaker Kofa has. He's not running next year to be senator, to be nothing the next term. So it's only one term. He made that clear to the public. He said he spent 20 years in the political things and he got voted in, and he had lost his family. So he's going to go back to his family. So that is clear out. When we talk about the majority, the renegades that we've been talking about, he quoted a certain portion of the law that stated that the minority, yeah, you are saying the same thing, Sekou, the minority. Now, he, as a speaker, cannot resign because they asked him about the terms that the people can go after 5 sections, you understand, man? And if they don't come together, he will have to resign. He asked them, he said, what part of the law quoted it? The renegade people, what they have stated in the propaganda scheme was that they put there that 5 times. After 5 times, if they come to the meeting, and the separate groups doesn't meet, definitely after the 5th time, the 5th time rather, the speaker is supposed to be voted out. The speaker is insisting that in the minority, what the minority says that doing the first thing, when they did the first thing on Tuesday, they took in 10 minutes for the sergeant of arms to go and look for the 43 other members. And he will have to bring that report. That report came back that he did not find them. So it's written. Tomorrow, what they're going to do is that he will ask them again to go and look for the 43 members. If they don't come out, the question was posed to him, what next? He said, next is the Supreme Court. So I want you to listen to this interview that he had today, because he summarized.
Where is it? We can play it later on, or tomorrow we can play it.
It's very important. I send it to you. And
okay.
Look on your WhatsApp and so Messenger. Because that is from there, all the question, all the concerns that you and Reverend Pastor Jerome have, we can dissect from the last interview that happened today. Because today on reveal what happened last night on Sports Show and the question that was posed to him today. And it was a lot of things that was said that.
I think the show will not accommodate all, or they really did everything. So
so let me say thank to him, and to finish up. That interview was on while we were doing our own show here, while we were setting up for our show time. So I could not talk about.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
So it's here. Actually, let me have it loaded, but it's about almost 1 hour.
No, it's too long. You can only take few. Yeah, you can only take
3 minutes. We have not 3 minutes.
The most important thing was that they asked him, what are your closing words, parting words? And the parting words, you can pick up from there. So that you can even pick up from the parting word that was summarized.
All right, so what we're gonna do, even after the radio, we'll try to play the last portion of it, so put it that following.
Yeah,
but it will not be fair to the people that are listening on the radio.
Yeah. That's why I think you only pick and choose between.
Let's play tomorrow. Thank you so much.
What I would do, Sekou, I would skim or a record little segment of it and just play the most important part.
Yeah. So I actually got it uploaded, but
so before we go in about a minute, I was just following while we were on. I was just following the anti-Kofa group. They were having a press conference not too long, saying that all the things that was said last night by the speaker are not true and so forth. So that was following. So also
invite them. Let them come to Sktv. Let them talk about it. Invite them.
Okay.
Or you know that you want me to call, just let me know. I can call them too. Can invite them.
All right, no problem. So we're going to do that tomorrow, because again, tomorrow will be a very, very busy day for them. I don't know what.
We'll get somebody tomorrow. Because you know what?
No.
I'm going to be available tomorrow.
Okay.
The day after tomorrow. The day after, we're going to be available for the next few days. So we'll try to bring somebody on.
Yes, that's the best thing to do. But tomorrow, I think tomorrow will be a busy, almost like a busy day for them on tomorrow. But anyway, thank to you. Yes. Why?
Maybe thank you. Chairman, I want to say something. The last 2 minutes we get, let's give it to him.
Okay.
After all the big gun they're calling today, huh?
Yeah. Hello?
Why do we always try to reinvent the wheel?
Mr. Chairman?
President. We have president already. The last two removal was there. Look, Snow went to court and the Supreme Court said, let's reinstate Snow. But guess what happened? The majority of the people, they didn't have the 2/3 to remove him. So all they said was, we're not going to sit on his gavel. The Supreme Court could not compel them to go to work. There's no provisions in the Constitution. What the Speaker was saying today is wrong. The Speaker said that the minority can compel. All the guys said incoming. First of all, the minority must even have a quorum before they can do anything. So if they compel, they go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court says, oh yeah, they put you come to work. They put you without coming to work. There's no provisions to dismiss the whole legislature. That's the only other choice they have. So the only thing Funadi Kofa has to do now is he has to convince 7 of those guys to switch to his side, or else they will keep doing what they're doing, and he will be forced to resign like Snow and Alex Tyler did. So he's not going to say, I will resign. No, he said, I will not resign. But those guys have the upper hand. They have to keep 38 people on their side, and they don't have to go to work. It won't affect Liberia to a single bit. The most important bill was the budget. They don't respect. Why do you think Liberia should care whether they go to work? They go to work, they do no work for us anyway.
Yeah. All right. All right, Mr. Chairman, we are out of time now. We got to leave the radio. So maybe tomorrow we're going to be on here. We're going to be discussing this.
Yeah, we'll go deep into it tomorrow.
We'll have a lot of information, but tomorrow we even have somebody, a representative here, talking to us tomorrow. I promise. So yeah, Monk, you can take us home. Then maybe one can close it from that end.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I say my man is sent me to law school, but I know in that country, I read all the standing rules, and the chairman just made my point. Once that speaker cannot secure 38 to even control a quorum, he will be out. That's why on day one, I said my primary objective was I want to know why they want to remove the speaker. But it seems like the speaker know that at the end of the day, this team will not play in his favor, so he tried to take the rest of them with him. That's how I'm interpreting it. Because whether it's for personal ambition, whether it's political maneuvering or bribery allegation, we cannot get to the bottom as to why you want to remove him. But the speaker now is telling us, he's giving us some hint as to why they want to remove him. So for me, I'm interpreting it as damage control, that I will be going down at the end of the day, but just know that when I'm going down, I'm taking an entire team with me. That's why the speaker, from my own analysis, that's what I'm thinking he's doing. And I know if he cannot secure that 38 to maintain a quorum, it means that he will be going at the end of the day. That's why 3 days ago I said I'm going to hang my hat on the opposition group that is trying to take out Fanatic Cover, because I know whether you trigger the Supreme Court coming in or not, at the final analysis, when the dust settles, Fanatic Cover will be a gunner. That's why I said from day one, and I'm sticking with my guns for now.
Yeah, but like I said, when I came in, from the speaker's position, the way he was talking, I think at the end of the day, he will resign. If they put can hold their ground, I think he will resign. He's not going to say, we're not going to resign right now. You got to fight with everything in his
they got to make the test.
You got to stand your ground. By the end of the day, if it's not working, it's not working. Yeah, but maybe we're not going to go more than your time. If it's finished, it's finished. We got to let it go. So maybe
maybe tomorrow you can chime in, because it will be that tomorrow the mean day, tomorrow is D-Day.
yeah, tomorrow will be
like Sekou said, like Chairman Yato said, look, history will repeat itself. If you listen to Speaker Kofa yesterday, I call you Mong, I said, look, the speaker will go down. You can see it. Those guys, it's up to the Liberian people to stand up. This is the time. This is a perfect opportunity now. Like you said, it's a damage control. If I'm going down, I want to bring all these guys into public disrepute to make sure that the public go after them. That's what he's doing.
Yep.
Snow trial. Everybody say, oh yeah, he never had a political base. But let's go back to the embryo stages. What led to it? Meanwhile, mainland Shannon was coming in. Taiwan was trying to find her way in. You know, Taiwan was around when Chastida was around.
Yeah.
The boys went to go lobby, including Delon were part of that clique. That's where the alliance started from. So, Monk, over the years, these guys have been doing business only to benefit themselves.
Oh, yeah.
That's
so, Pastor Komis, we'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully, you'll be available. If not, you can come in anytime to join us to,
yes, sir.
The conversation.
But thank you for the opportunity, Monk.
Thank you for joining us. Your voice is one of those respected voices.
Yeah, he got some insider information. You got to come on the show most often and get some and lay some premise here because the history is there. He been in the vanguard for a while when it comes to the.
People got to follow me to Benson Street and Johnson Street.
More nobody man. Your man, my man, from all the way back there.
Oh, he told me already. He said I've been doing that man for a long time. Yes. They could have so could have covered in the labyrinth politics. We've been hanging around for a minute.
The man know what's up.
All right, guys.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you, guys, man. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. So, my people, thank you. We'll be here tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll be here. In a few days, in the coming days, I'll be here to be a part of whatever is going on. Yeah. So, thank you so much, everybody. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
There are things we can do. We bring good news and we give it to you.